Okay guys, so the one thing that is very important in life is to strike while the iron is still hot. Okay, so there's no time to change outfits, there's no time to pretend that we are not bulk shooting, because the moment has come and I've said yes. So here we are trying to get this content out. Child, it's time. And on this video I am sharing with you all the books that I read in the month of August. It is way into September now, and I read 5 books in 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, stay tuned. I don't know how many books I read because some of them were via ebook. I remember 2, but I think it was 3. So I think I read 6 books, but we shall find out. Okay, so if you're curious about that, do stay tuned.
So Vuvu _reads is an amazing book reviewer, also YouTuber. She reviews books on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a blog as well. So please, if for your connection with literature, get in touch with or follow at VUVUVENA_reads. She is based in South Africa, and I think it is also extremely important to follow literary content creators who are based outside of the West and in continental Africa, because they do a really good job of bridging the gap.
We appreciate you, Vuvu, for bringing us Turning Pages and for bringing us your BookTube channel.
You know, this is a chance for people to actually see some people that I really enjoy.
Please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below, and if you're a returnee, welcome back, fam.
Vuvu, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, child, the best way to do this is to handle those audiobooks, etc., that I managed to get through first, so that I don't confuse me or you and forget anything. But August was a good month. July dribbled me. I don't care who tells you what about what. Okay, I will be ready to admit that to myself. July, it did me dirty, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. If this is how you want to play, then that's okay. So I did read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi, Boena. 6 books. Yes, 6 books in the month of August, and I'm very happy to have come back from my little slump, little adjustment, or whatever the hell that was in July. And I'll take a drink for that. Okay. So I have been saying since the year started that I want to dabble in a little bit of Colleen Hoover to just get an understanding of what the fuss is. Okay, I know that I'm not a fan of authors that have a million books in their collection, let me put it that way, right, that are not even linked. It's not even a series, but this person happens to be churning out so many books. And I've heard a little bit of background on Colleen. From what I'm understanding, it's not like they had these books one after the other, if you get what I'm trying to say. But I was still on some okay, let me not deprive myself. I have reached my goal, by the way, for this year. I wanted to read 50 books. I've read 50 books, so now it's playtime. Okay, I can read whatever I want to read. I don't feel like it has to be, not that it doesn't have to be meaningful, but I don't feel like it has to be geared towards a certain thing. It's me now completely reading what I want to read. Not that I don't do that. I don't know how to explain this, but once you've reached a goal, you get a little bit of the feeling that you can let go now, you know, do what you want to do, however you want to do it. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but it does to me. So this is why we picked up Colleen Hoover. So I picked up 2 books of hers. I started with November 9th. I will put it up here, and I'll share a little bit of an update that I did on my TikTok as well, okay, just so that you guys can, you know, let me pause myself so that you guys can hear that. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've got about 45 minutes left of this book, and all I'm here to say is that utoxic ukufa lapha, guys. No ways, child. You see those red flags? They were there for a reason. Toxic, uben. And Ufelen, I don't even understand how she can be so slow or so forgiving. I understand it, guys. All of this happening to new adults. No, guys. Toxic, uben. Toxic, ukufa. Felen needs to wake up. That's all. I did not like the book. Okay, I personally did not like the story that was being told in this specific book, because I feel like because it had minors, I want to say these kids were minors to start with, right? And the nature in which this relationship develops so quickly, no questions are being asked, or there is no sense of self-protection in a world such as the one that we live in. Okay, I felt like the what do they call it, like my disbelief was not suspended. The suspension of disbelief was not accomplished with me, and most of the time I was really very concerned more than anything while reading that book. And I could not get over the main male character. I think his name is Ben's toxicity. Ciao. Please forget, yes, Ben's toxicity. You can just forget me when it comes to that level of being toxic. Do you understand me? I just couldn't understand it. And the vulnerability of the male female. Nah, I don't want damsels in my story, okay? I need strong female leads in my story, be it a romance, be hey, I'm not here for a damsel, okay? But I think my main concern is that there was the kind of faith and trust that was put into a stranger was unrealistic for me. The kind of pact that these people went through was also unrealistic for me. So reading the rest of the book via audio was just a matter of going through the motions and just trying to understand how far it can go. And when I find out about Ben has been storing things and hiding things from Fallon that he should never have ever hidden, or should have just left him alone to begin with, I was like, ciao, ni toxic, Ben toxic, and how dare. No, I was not happy. This book I rated a 2.8 stars. I was really not thrilled. I was not, ciao. It was definitely not for me. The second book that I picked up from her was It Ends With Us. While I can empathize with the reason behind the story after hearing the author's note at the end, I can empathize, I can understand, I definitely do sympathize, and I think that she has tackled a very important matter in the story, that being of domestic abuse, which has nothing to do with race and is got nothing to do with country, etc. It is a very important story, or rather subject, that she tried to tackle. It really also did not hit home for me, and it's also based around, I don't know why, how Colleen does her cute meets cute. I never get this right, okay? But you guys know what I'm trying to say, right? When the main character and the main female character and the main male character in a romance meet for the first time, I don't know why she does her cute meets in that manner. I absolutely hate it, because there is no build up into how quickly these people become comfortable with each other. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I felt like these two stories, right, there was a lack of chemistry between the two main characters for me. There might have been other underlying things there, right, like friendship, etc., and maybe even lust, but in terms of chemistry, in terms of love, she missed me, Mina. It didn't hit home, and as a result, I don't know if I'll be trying any more of her romances. I've heard great things about Verity, and I understand that Verity is not a romance, so I'm willing to try her out when it comes to that. So that was the second book that I read in the month of August, and I rated that one a 3 out of 5 stars. All right, so I'm just dealing with these audiobooks, child, because you know. So then I picked up, okay, let me do this before I do the next one, right? I picked up An American Marriage by Tyary Jones. Child, let's just first look at this amazing cover. Absolutely love this cover. It's giving me everything that it should be giving me. I love this. I bought this at an exclusive book sale, yo guys, maybe in 2019 if not 2020, and it just hasn't been calling to me. I've heard people talk about it, and I think the thing that put me off initially was the fact that this was written in letter style, right? And I was like, I'm not trying to read nobody's letters, okay? Just tell me a story. I just want a story. So it put me off for a while, but because now we are dabbling in our shelves trying to see what else we can read, because we don't hit that goal, I was like, no, it's all right. let me just pick up this book. It's calling to me now, and luckily I could pair it with an audiobook via script. So this was definitely a hybrid read for me. And Tyary is fast becoming, or has officially become, an author that I will never question again. In terms of, should she put anything on the table, I'm grabbing it, I'm taking it, I'm asking no questions. I will see to finish whatever it is that she has offered, because what I picked up An American Marriage, and as soon as I finished it, I picked up Silver Sparrow. I'll put it up here, but right now I want to talk about An American Marriage with you guys. This one follows, I want to get the character names right for you guys because it was a while ago. This one follows newlyweds Celestial and Roy, right, who happened to find themselves in a very unpredictable and very unfair situation, and have to learn how to make their marriage work while apart because of what has happened. And in the time in which they are trying to figure themselves out and come back to each other, there's a lot that we are told about the characters, not necessarily while they are together, but we get to learn a lot about each other. There are pleasant moments, there are very sad moments, and there are very unrealistic expectations from each other. However, for me, the fascination is how Tayari got to make a marriage work, in a sense, right, in this kind of setting that she has put up here. I don't think it's any secret the fact that Roy, soon after they got married, is imprisoned for a crime that he didn't commit, right? And it looks like the basic commentary is there is that it's because he is black, right, that this has occurred and has happened to him. I will put up and pause again my TikTok summing up of this book, which I absolutely loved. Hi, so I'm just dropping on here to just let you guys know that I just finished reading An American Marriage by Tyary Jones. This is a first for me from her, and I absolutely loved this. I loved the simplicity, the accessibility, the subject matters explored in here, part of which were being a black man in America, being a black woman in America, what marriage means in terms of the class differences between the same race, as well as ambition, love, how to navigate love in a situation that seems quite extreme. But for me, I think that her winning formula, Tyary that is, was making it so simplistic while dealing with such heavy and intricate subjects. I absolutely loved this. I needed something different. I did pick up The Perfect Find by T.L. Williams, but for some reason I was just feeling for something a little bit different, and this was definitely what I needed. I did listen to this one via audio as well. It is on script, so it was a hybrid read, and I think that the magic of the narrators for me was the ability to just picture this thing playing out in my head. I can easily see this as a movie. It was so well done, and the complexities of these relationships that she explored were very beautifully done. Absolutely loved this one. I am looking forward to picking up Silver Sparrow. I don't own it yet, but this is definitely an author that I look forward to buying blind in the future, because this was very impressive. I rated this one a 5 out of 5 stars. But I think that the narrators that shared the story on script were very talented. They definitely brought it to life. I absolutely enjoyed this journey. It's one of those that I wish I could redo, like fresh, without any hindsight and any other perspective, but just have that moment given to me as pure as it was once again. I absolutely loved this, and like I'm saying, I'm just gonna put up a clip over here of me telling you how I felt about this as soon as I was done with it. This one I did rate a 5 out of 5 stars. It was worth it. Okay, so then, like I'm saying, I did tuck into Silver Sparrow by the same author, by Tyary Jones. Silver Sparrow explores infidelity. It explores the whole idea of having a sibling that you don't even know about, that is hidden from you, and how the same man's children can grow up in different settings and how that affects their lives. Overall, if you hear what I'm trying to say, I didn't enjoy Silver Sparrow as much as I enjoyed An American Marriage. I don't want to lie, but I do think that Silver Sparrow came before an American marriage, and if that is the case, the growth that the author showed in an American marriage for me was very phenomenal. So in Silver Sparrow, I don't have the hard copy, but I definitely do want it. I just want to read you the synopsis of the actual story. It says, with the opening line of Silver Sparrow, my father, James Witherspoon, is a bigamist. Tyary Jones unveils a breathtaking story about a man's deception, a family's complicity, and the teenage girls caught in the middle. Set in a middle-class neighborhood in Atlanta in the 1980s, the novel revolves around James Witherspoon's families, the public one and the secret one. When the daughters from each family meet and form a friendship, only one of them knows they are sisters. It is a relationship destined to explode when secrets are revealed and illusions shattered. As Jones explores the backstories of her rich and flawed characters, she also reveals the joy and the destruction they brought to each other's lives. At the heart of it all are the two girls whose lives are at stake, and like the best writers, Jones portrays the fragility of her characters with raw authenticity as they seek love, demand attention, and try to imagine themselves as women. And I feel like that synopsis definitely covers everything. I absolutely love this book. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. So the next book that I did pick up, in no particular order, okay child, was Yinka, Where Is Your Husband? Those of you who follow me on TikTok know, okay? This here book was a journey for me. I feel like definitely, I keep saying the same thing, but definitely Yinka's character is very reminiscent of Bridget Jones, and I love the topics that what's her name, Lizzie Damalola Blackburn did explore in the specific one. I have done an entire vlog on this with a review at the end, so I will not be saying much about this one. I will link the vlog up here for those of you who are curious. I ended up rating this one at 3.8 stars out of 5. And the last book, I just want to say before I talk about that last book, let me just take a sip, child, because it took me a whole entire year to finish this lovely offering by Namwali Sopal, and that is definitely The Old Drift. Okay, I think the thing that really dribbled me, and this is definitely a story I'm going to reread, was the complexity of the story. This is a saga. For those of you who want to know what sagas are about, it's basically following a specific family line or family tree, and how through the generations different things happen to these families, how their lives collide with people that maybe they had known in the past through their grandparents, and now they're showing up in present life, but they don't really actually know them personally anymore. But just that intertwining of realities and how the past impacts the present, and how what happened before can happen again, and how it just formulates into this complexity of a book that Namwali has presented. I think I heard somewhere that she spent 20 years, I think, reading this book, so I felt good. I mean, writing this book, so I felt good, child, for having spent a year reading it, because you can't spend that much time writing a book and I gobbled it up, because it's not gobbleable. Yeah, forget about it. If you're thinking this book is gobbleable, forget about it. It's a whole of 566 pages long, and I want to read you a little bit about Namwali, because she's quite, like, I love a black queen whose stride is excellence. I don't know if you hear what I'm trying to say, but when I see all those accolades behind your name, man, and you are a writer, I'm like, yes, give us fryers, we are your onions, etc, etc. So this is definitely a Zambian author. I don't think I've read a lot from Zambia, but she's a Zambian author. So it says Namwali Sopal is a Zambian writer who teaches at the University of California, Berkeley. She received a Rona Jeff Foundation's Writers Award for Women Writers in 2011 and was selected for the Africa 39, a 2014 Hay Festival project to identify the best African writers under 40. She won the 2015 Kane Prize for African Writing. The Old Drift is her first novel. For this to be a debut also, like, my mind is blown. It is absolutely blown. I want to read you the synopsis for those of you who are curious about it, because it is a lot to condense, and especially because a lot of it for me, like, was a journey in terms of the reading experience, especially now that you understand that it took me a year. It says, on the banks of the Zambezi River, a few miles from the majestic Victoria Falls, there was once a colonial settlement called the Old Drift. Here begins the epic story of a small African nation told by a mysterious swarm-like chorus that calls itself man's greatest nemesis. The tale, a playful panorama of history, fairy tale, romance, and science fiction. The moral, to err is human. In 1904, in a smoky room at the hotel across the river, an old drifter named Percy M. Clark, foggy with fever, makes a mistake that entangles his fate with those of an Italian hotelier and an African busboy. This sets off a cycle of unwitting retribution between the three Zambian families, black, white, brown, as they collide and converge over the course of the century into the present and beyond. As the generations pass, their lives, their triumphs, errors, losses, and hopes form a symphony about what it means to be human. From a woman covered with hair and another plagued with endless tears, to forbidden love affairs and fiery political ones, to homegrown technological marvels like astronauts, microdrones, and viral vaccines, this gripping, unforgettable novel sweeps over the years and the globe, subverting expectations along the way. Exploding with color and energy, The Old Drift is a testament to our yearning to create and cross borders, and a meditation on the slow, grand passage of time. Absolutely loved this one. It is definitely one that I intend to reread at least 2 more times in my lifetime, because I feel like a lot was lost during the time that I had paused it throughout the reading process. So I did miss out on a lot, even though I did manage to garner a lot from the story as well. So it is definitely one that deserves more than one reading, if you hear what I'm trying to say. But I did rate my first experience of it a good 4.5 stars, and that brings me to the end of the books that I managed to read in the month of August. So we can conclude it was 6 books. Thank you very much for tuning in. I love you very much for choosing me. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I just say I love you, but I do. I love you guys very much. Bye now.